Good morning and welcome back to Frugal Outdoors with myself, Dylan, and we're out again this morning. It's 9 o'clock and I'm hoping, if I've got the tides right, that is, it's bang on low tide, or give or take. I think I've got about 20 minutes. So I wanted to try and get the tide so it starts flooding back in the hope of trying to get a bream. It's daytime fishing. I've literally got some squid, I've got some frozen blacks, and I've got some crab. So that's all the bait I've got. I haven't got any rag, so it's unlikely I'm going to pick anything else up apart from a bream, to be honest. So that's what I'm fishing for. Hopefully we can get one. I've got a few minutes to set up. I've had a little rummage around on the shoreline, see if I can find any more crabs, which I can't. Thought I might have been able to find a couple of rag or something under some rocks, but I can't. Yeah, so let's get it set up. Let's get some baits ready and let's get fishing. Right, so my first set my rods up already. Mate, it's 20 degrees this morning already. It's supposed to be really, really warm. I did manage to get out the other day for just a few hours at Fort Victoria the other night, and I lost all my footage. Well, not all of it, but most of it. And took a load of crab, load of squid after a bream. Lost a bream and a snag, unfortunately, but I did get a consolation prize. I'm getting my first bass of the year, only £2, bang on £2, £1.15.5 to be exact. Yeah, so that was great. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed we lost the footage. So all I'm doing is I've opened up a squid, cutting it into nice sort of strips like that. Quite biggish baits, I suppose, but nowhere near as big as some other people use for bream fishing. But I've only got size 2 hooks and size 4 hooks for today. So cutting the squid open like that should give me 4 baits, plus the head. Getting bitten. Yeah, so I'll get 5 baits out of a squid. So I'll chuck these on quick, and then I'll show you, get them out. First 2 rods I'm just going with squid straight off, just get them out there, get them in the water, and then I'll faff around with some crab and some other bits in a sec. Right, we're baited up, so let's have a look. Tide is still slightly ebbing. It's pretty much getting to the bottom of the tide now, so I'm going to whack them out now anyway, and hopefully, like I say, get into a fish. I mean, to be honest, I'm not expecting to catch one today. I'd like to, I'm trying to, but yeah, I'm not going to be too disappointed if I don't. But let's have a look at the rigs anyway. So the rods I'm fishing with today, to be honest, when I'm normally fishing here, because there's not a lot of room behind, I normally fish with my 12 foots, but I've got the 13.9s today, competition match. They're in the van, they're ready to go, so I'm just going to use those. £25 straight through. It's not snaggy out there, but to be honest, I'm not going to be trying to punch it too far. I don't know if you can see, but sort of just along here is where all the eelgrass is, so basically I'm trying to cast it into that, and hopefully that's where we're going to pick one up. So left hand rod, it's basically my go-to bream rig. So very, very simple. It's all tied with knots, there's nothing fancy about it. It's quite a short snood. I've got a little bit of a tail of squid hanging at the bottom there. Same on this. I know some people say wrap the whole thing up, but to be honest, in my mind, if that's sort of flutting around a little bit in the sea, it's just going to be an attractant. If I do get bites and I'm not hooking them, then I'll maybe tie them all the way up, but this has normally worked for me. That one's got a floaty bead there, a couple of normal beads. That one's just got a couple of normal beads. This side, this one is a size 4 hooks, that one's size 2s, and again exactly the same deal, a little bit hanging off the bottom just to give it a little bit of movement in the water. No beads on this one at all. That's a 1 up, 1 down, and that one's just a 2 up flapper, both with 5-ounce leads. Let's chuck them out. And typically, I forgot my hand rag again today. Always. Even got it out, put it on the kitchen table, ready to take, and then left it at home. Never mind. So I've filled up my cool box with some water, so at least I can wash my hands. Plenty of flies about today. But I'm going to get these out, and I'm going to rig up some little bits of worm, tipped off with some squid. Maybe do another rig with some crab. I've only brought literally three shore peelers. And let's have a go. Can only but try, can't we? I'm going to save at least one crab, because as that tide pushes up, I'm going to plop one around the end of that groin. I've had a couple of bass down here before, not here, off the slip as it comes up, and I've lost a couple of bass, but I've also had a couple of bass, so yeah, let's try it. So, well, we're in. I say the sun is going to be beaming today, but it's all going to be behind me, so I'm sheltered from all these trees. So it should be pretty comfortable fishing. It is a really easy mark to fish if you haven't fished it before. It's Boldner Viewpoint car park. It's at the far end of Yarmouth Common. It's free parking, literally 20 yards up there. You park up, you walk down, you can fish all the way along here. I tend to fish this end purely because it's a dead end right there, so people don't walk past, and I can take up the whole sort of beach wall. So, but they're out. They're not quite as far as I'd like. I have to move a bit forward and just cast right on the edge. I think these rods are a little bit too long to get a full welly on, but they're just dropped short. They're like right on the edge of that eelgrass. But yeah, we'll see. Like I say, I'm going to get another couple of rigs ready, and we'll keep firing them out, see what happens. That's all we can do, isn't it? Now, I know I've showed you this before, but I think it is a pretty neat little tip. It's certainly not my tip. I've nicked it from somebody else. A certain Wayne Hand shore hunter, and also Greg from GSP Fishing, he also does it. So when you're using frozen blacks, if you stick it on a bait needle, I'm using fine thread here, so you've got to be a bit more gentle. But you wrap it up, keep going at a diagonal, and then it holds it into shape so it doesn't bag up. So quite often, I don't know if anyone else has found it, you'll thread a black lug up, you'll cast it out, you'll bring it in to change your bait, and it's all just bunched up on the hook, on the hook point. It's all ballooned up, it's all stretched out. Well, that will stop it from doing that. And then you get an actual nice thin worm. But I'm going to cut this in half anyway, and then I'm going to tip it off with a little bit of crab. And yeah, chuck that out in the next cast. Got a bite. Getting a bite already. Well, bait's been in the water like 5 minutes. It's not the target at all, but it's a fish. It's a European eel, so I need to make sure I get it in the water. I've stuck it straight in my bucket of water. We need to make sure we try and get it back as safely as possible because they're protected. They've got to be returned in exactly the same spot they were caught. But it's a fish, so. Oh my God. Right, it is the slipperiest, slimiest thing ever going. But there we go, finally got a hold of it. Right, let's get it quickly back in. Cool, well, here's me being not super confident at the start and being like, yeah, I'm definitely going to blank today, I reckon. And we caught a fish, so brill. Not the target species, but it means at least there's fish out there. Kind of, if you count eels as a fish. Yeah, I need to move that camera. The lighting is not brilliant, so Let's see if we can't get you better set up. So yeah, today, let's straighten you up a little bit. Today is going to be like a pretty short session really. Daisy's gone for a run this morning. She's doing a bit of shopping with the kids. So basically I've got like 3 hours spare. So I'm fishing from 9 till 12. Tide hasn't turned yet by the looks of it. So I'm hoping, like I say, it's trying to hit the tide at the best possible time really for a short session, in the hope of picking up the bream. As soon as that tide starts moving, I'm hoping that will sort of switch the fish onto the feed, because I've been told that bream really like, you know, moving water. Same as most fish, to be honest. They do like to swim in the tide, so and it will sort of get them going. That's the plan. But I'm going to change that first rig on the left hand side. I've got that worm bait out there now. It's got loads of beads and stuff. It's actually a flounder rig, but it's got nice small hooks on it, so I thought, you know what, I'll just chuck it out, see what happens. It's got a couple of glowy beads on there, a couple of blue beads, there's all sorts, but it might pick something up. So I'll change that other one now anyway, get that out. Yeah, and just keep alternating the baits, get a little bit of crab out on the next one, I think, and just see what happens. Here we go. So this is the next bait that's going to go out. Again, it's just a little Turk flapper. It's the same one as I used before. But here we go. Got a nice little half a crab on there, and another half a crab on the bottom. Let's see if we can't pick something up. I think finally that tide is starting to turn. But to be honest, I'm struggling to hit the weed. I want to try and get it in that eelgrass, but I'm really struggling to hit it. And with it low tide, there's a lot of weed and rocks down here. So I'm reeling in just to there and then just giving it a flick to get it most of the way up. And then hope that it doesn't get snagged. And on that one, I've lost the bottom hook to a crab. That's better. Yeah, that's much better. Got it right into the weed that time. There's birds working all in front of me, probably 200 yards out. The old blackhead gulls. Obviously after maybe sand eels or something like that, which hopefully means there's some fish feeding on them, which means hopefully I can get one, but we'll see. Hello. Got someone having a go at that crab. Oh, I think it just came off. Literally just saw it flap off out there. Right, let's get this one out. Get this one out and then I'll rebait another crab bait. But yeah, I saw it flap. It was on and I saw it kick its tail, whatever it was, and it came off just out there. Ah, well, this is rather pleasant. Yeah, I haven't had any other bites at all really. 2 hours I've been fishing now. 2 hours. I just chucked out another crab bait because I had a decent, well, I say it came off, I could see it as I was reeling in. I couldn't tell what it was. Might just been a little schoolie bass or something. But yeah, I've had that, basically I've had that eel on the squid I've had another fish which came off on the crab. I've had no bites whatsoever on the worm. So I'm going to probably give the worm a miss from now on and just keep punching out some crab and some squid. Like I say, I've got maybe three baits left for the crab. I've got a crab on each hook at the moment, one on one side, one on the other, and then squid. So there's a crab and a squid bait out. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm only going to fish for another hour. Quick little 3-hour session, trying for that elusive bream. I know they're there. I would just like to get one. We're supposed to be having a barbecue later, hence as well that I'm down. Try and get something for it. But we'll keep pushing, we'll keep trying. Hopefully we can get one in the next hour. Oh dear. Those rod tips have not moved since that last bite. Pretty much an hour, they have not budged. I'm still chucking the baits out. I'm refreshing probably like every 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes. I've got plenty of bait. I mean, I only bought half a pack of squid, but when you're getting 5 baits out of 1 squid, 4 or 5, it goes quite a long way. But I'll keep chucking them out anyway. Like I say, I've probably got about 45 minutes left. Could do with the tide coming in a little bit more, to be honest. But this is the time I've got available, so this is when I come fishing. God, I thought I was getting a bite then, but it's actually weed. I can see it just in front of me here. So I'm going to bring this left hand rod in, and that's the last bait that I've got to cast out. And then yeah, I'll give them 20 minutes, and then knock it on the head. You never know, might get lucky. Well, there we go. Our time is up. We didn't get our bream. We got European eel. And it was on the first cast as well, which is kind of, it made me think that it might have actually been a pretty decent session. We lost something else on the way in. I have no idea what that was. It was silver, could have been a bream. I don't think it looked like a breamy bite. Could have just been a small schoolie bass, but we didn't land it anyway, so it doesn't count. So I'm going to reel these ones in. What I might do is come back down on Monday night to basically give a daytime session. High tide is about 8 o'clock, I believe. I don't know, the tides are all over the place. So low tide today was about 10. Then low tide on Monday is about 11, but it's a super long tide. Spitfire. Yeah, but hopefully, like I say, I can give some sort of impression of the difference it might be from a morning session to an evening session. 2 days apart, but pretty similar. So I'll head back home now, get some lunch, get these in, get it all packed away. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and until the next one, please take care, stay safe, and maybe see you out there. Cheers. Hello. Welcome back, and as promised, I'm back down. It is a week on, over a week actually. I didn't end up coming fishing, so I've come out now to try and make up for it. So as you can see, the weather conditions are stunning, and the sea conditions look pretty good. Bit of colour in the water. We're pretty much on low tide, and we're going to be fishing right up. Not going to fish all the way up. It's about 6 o'clock. I'm going to probably fish till 10, 11. I'd like to try and get close to the top of the tide. I'm going to fish, well basically, I fished, it's so difficult. I fished just down there by that fence last time. But because I'm going to be targeting possibly well, not targeting, but I'm going to be chucking out some crab. So there's a potential of getting a hound. So if I get a hound, I can get it up there, because I haven't got a drop net, I haven't got a landing net. I don't want to start yanking it up the side of the wall. So I'm going to fish right on the slip. Super easy fishing. The only thing I've got to watch out for is those. There's a couple of rusty old, rotten old posts right in front of me, and I've lost a fish on that before. I've lost a bass on that before. So I just need to be aware that when I'm bringing something in, directly in front of me at about 10 yards, there's a couple of posts. So I'm going to get set up, quickly show you the rigs that I'm using, show you the bait, and get fishing. Target tonight is, well, actually my target tonight is just to catch one fish. I would like that one fish to be a bream. But if I don't catch a bream, I'll take anything. If we get a couple more than one, brilliant. But do you know what? I just want to catch a fish. I've got crab, I've got squid, and I've got crab and I've got squid. I've got peeler shore crab, peeler spiders and squid. So basically, yeah, I'm targeting those 3 species. Hopefully we can get something to take home to eat. If not, it's a lovely evening and it'll be a stunning sunset. Right, let's get set up. Okay, so we're ready. So I'm fishing with the competition Match GT and ST again today, and you'll see I've got one set up. That's got a leader, that's got 16 pound with a tapered leader, and that's got 25 pounds straight through. So later I'll be chucking a bass bait on this rod, so if I need to bully anything, I've got the power there and I've got the line strength there that I can bully it out, especially if I get wrapped around those snags right in front of me there. Look at those. So yeah, so that's on with a leader, 16 pound. On a lighter rod, so this one I want to chuck out as far as I can. That's on a 5 ounce. That's got it's a 2-hook clipped rig, 2-hook clipped flapper, bit of squid on that one, size 2 or 4 hooks I believe, and that one's got a floaty bead, and that's got exactly the same with squid tipped off with a crab leg. And then on this side I've got a shore peeler crab bound together with the squid head and guts. That's on a 6 ounce, that's on a pulley pennel, and that is a size 4.0 I believe, 4.0 and a 4.0 pulley as well. So let's get these out. So what I'm going to try and do is keep the lighter rod at distance on the left hand side, and because the tide is coming in, and then I know if I get something decent on the right hand rod, it's going to go that way and come away from these snags, these old sort of groin posts. But yeah, let's get them in the sea. I think my casting's getting a bit lazy. I've noticed the last half a dozen times I've been out, and I'm actually trying to get it further as well. It's not actually going as far. So yeah, maybe slow it down. I think it's because I'm trying different things. I should just stick to how I was doing it before, because I was casting alright. It's always that thing, isn't it? I think that's the competitiveness amongst all fishermen, who can cast the furthest. And actually half the time the fish are right in front of you anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, they're out there. So now it's time to sit back, enjoy this sun. There's a race going on in front of me. Fortunately I'm casting nowhere near the boats. We'll see what we can get. Yeah, so as you saw earlier in the video, when I fished just a little bit down there, it's literally like 50 yards away, I'd say. European eel, and I dropped something silver, which I'm assuming was probably a school bass. It was on crab, but we did alright. It was a daytime session. Would have really liked to bream. Yeah, so coming down now, I mean that was a morning session. I got down there at about 9 o'clock and I was done by about 12. So coming down now at about 6, half 6, and then I'm going to fish through to about sort of 11 into dark, give it an hour into dark. And hopefully, yeah, we can see the difference. See if it produces anything different. It is a week, so I mean, Christ, could be completely different. I might blank, so. But we'll see. We're going to chuck baits out. Got decent baits, really. And hopefully we can get into a fish. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh, there we go. I think that tide has just started to run now. I've had a quick bait change on one of the rods. The small baits with the small squid. Just wanted to see how it was getting on. Completely untouched, no crab activity or anything, but it's been in the water for about 15 minutes. So I can leave that second one out for a little bit longer. But yeah, definitely a bit of tidal run now, so hopefully things, well, hopefully it will switch some fish on. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath tonight. It seems like it's too nice an evening, it's too sunny, it's too warm. But it would be nice to get a fish. So while we wait for a potential bite, I did want to take the opportunity to say thank you to you all the subscribers, everyone that watches, even if you're not subscribed. If you have got this far and you haven't subscribed, then please do. And to the members of the channel as well, because every little thing that you do really helps. And if anyone's thinking about potentially becoming a member, it's always massively appreciated. Like I say, it is quite difficult to try and get out as much as we do, people that create content. And yeah, so every little helps. But thank you all. It's always massively appreciated. All your comments, all your support, all your hints and tips as well. I mean, all of you lot have helped my fishing out so much. I mean, when I first started this channel, I was not an experienced fisherman. I'm not an experienced fisherman now. But I think I can fish. I like to think so anyway. I can chuck a bait out. But loads of the tips, loads of the rigs, all sorts of stuff has come from you lot. So thank you ever so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. There we go. While we're waiting, I'm going to get some baits ready because it is mucky. So that's a peeler crab. I've taken all of the shell off it that I can, all the shell off the segments of legs and everything. It's frozen, it's not fresh. Got it on a baiting needle and I'm just going to wrap it and wrap it and wrap it. Look at the juice. Primo bass bait, primo hound bait. I'm going to wrap that up and I'll alternate between this and the shore crab. So I'll get that on a hook in a minute and I'll show you. The more I look around, there's bits of fishing line everywhere, which I find really frustrating because it's not hard to tidy up after yourselves. It's something we get taught as kids, and yet some adults don't seem to be able to do it. Right, here we go. So I'm just binding onto the needle. You can see there, that needle there is super proud. Right, so I'm hoping to pick up a hound, hoping to pick up a bass, hoping to pick up anything, to be honest. But if anything's going to get it, it's going to be one of these, because the juice is oozing out of it. Got no rubber on this. Quite like using the like neoprene tubing and stuff for the resistance on the hook, but there we go. Beauty. Let's get it out. Right, so I'm going to change up one of the rigs, the bigger one. Still going to be a big bait, but I'm going to chuck out, dropped half it on the floor. It's a running ledger, but it's a locked in lead, so it's about 1 metre of line, maybe 80 pounds, something like that, on a slidey thing, bead at each end, my normal rig clip that I have on the end of my main line, and a swivel on the other end, and then it means I can make up a bunch of snoods and I can change it. The thing is, a lot of people put the running ledger straight on their main line, which is great, and I have done before and it's caught me bass. But if I want to change up the rigs, I want to have a locked in one, so I can just take the whole rig off and then chuck, say, a pulley pennel one. So this has got a 5.0 there, a 3.0 with the neoprene tubing to give it some resistance. That's nice and tight. That's on 80 pound as well. A couple of beads, don't know if it needs it or not, don't know if it's going to be a hindrance or not. And that is probably on about 60 centimetres. So then that means I can clip that in and I've got a rig. If I want to fish with this all night, I can just take that off, have another one baited, chuck it straight on, chuck it out. If I want to change the entire rig, I can just take the entire thing off and put a pulley on. That's my method to the madness anyway. It's not helping much at the minute. And there we go. There it is, all baited and ready to go. Just going to use a 3-ounce bomb because it's only going out about 20-30 yards. Basically, I just want to get it past this weed. To be honest, it probably needs to go 10 yards to get in past the weed. And that's got a whole shore peeler crab, tiny little bit of strip of squid just wrapped up where I've opened it up to try and keep the juice in there. And then I've just got a load of the spider crab legs, wrapped it up so it's all like the legs are all hanging off it, so it kind of looks a bit more like a crab. That's the plan. Let's chuck it out. Right, that bass bait is in, so fingers crossed we can get something. I took that old crab off, chopped it up and chucked it as far as I could. Didn't go very far in all fairness because they're too small and light, but it's not my bass rod, it's not the bass reel, but it's in there. What's that, babe? Huh? Is it a big pull down? Look. Pulled it.
Just weed?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Bass. I've got bass, mate. You hold the rod. There we go. Thought we were getting a bite. What have we got? Another bass. Beauty. It's a bit of a slim Jim, to be honest. He's well in size. But yeah, maybe 2, 2.5. I mean, that other one I thought was 3 turned out to be just under 4. So yeah, I'd say it's probably. So I've got scales. Let's find out, shall we? Yeah, £3. There we go. Look, that is exactly £3.5 ounce. Oh, wicked. So we haven't had a bite all night, and then finally I just sort of looked up and it just did a slow pull and then back up. I was like, is that weed? And then held it for a bit and I couldn't really feel anything, put it back in the rod stand. I was like, no, I think there's a fish on. £3 bass. Wicked. So there we go. We caught something. We haven't blanked. So I'm over the moon. There we go. We keep fishing. We chucked another one out. That was at distance with a spider crab, half a spider crab and a bit of squid on a pulley pennel. So the one that's in close, 4 bass, hasn't had a bass. The one out at distance did, but chuffed. Right, I'm done with the, hang on, let's set that light down. Yeah, I'm done with the trying for a bream. That light is completely gone now. I mean, it looks amazing on camera, but there's really no light at all. So I'm going to leave that one out, big crab bait out for a hound. Just baited up on the running ledger again. I'm just going to toss it out, maybe 10, 20 yards again. And see if we can't just pick another bass up. I'd say there's definitely stuff moving around, you can hear it. But yeah, there's nothing happening out there. Well, I say that, that's where I got the bass, but hey. Yeah, so I've just basically, I've got one at like 15 to 20 yards on the right hand one, the one that's more bolt upright if you can actually see it. And the one on the left I've maybe got up 50, 60. Again, both crab baits. Bulked them up with some of the spider legs and stuff just so it looks like it's an actual spider crab. And we'll see what happens. I'm not going to fish it very long, maybe another half an hour. Like I say, I've had a fish, I've got a fish to take home for the table. But it'd be nice to get something else, it'd be nice to get a hound or something else, you know. Still haven't had a hound yet this year. But yeah, We'll see how it goes. Well, I've given it another 45 minutes. Not a single touch. So I am going to pack up. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, it gives you a little bit of an example of what it can be like in the daytime and the evening. Super easy access. Parked literally just up there. It's a very easy walk down. Even if you're a little bit unstable on your feet, you can get down here. I've been sat on a bench all night, right there. Super easy fishing, super easy to land a fish. So get yourselves down here. But until the next one, please take care, stay safe. Thank you for watching, and I'll maybe see you out there. Cheers.